Why was there no connection apparently between that and the ability to win the fight over the shutdown?
Well, I think this should come as heartening news to Republicans. They're just as disorganized over on their team as the Republicans are on theirs. Like
Right.
they're not some magic geniuses over there. The days of the Obama campaign machine making all the right calls and knowing exactly the right messages are over. Even Obama himself doesn't have the magic keys anymore. And so, look, there's no leader there, Mark. I mean, there was a poll out just this week showing the number one person getting votes as the Democratic Party leader is I don't know. That's their leader. And as far as like the ones who may run for president, J.B. Pritzker, he's below Donald Trump as the Democrats' leader. So they don't really have somebody strong calling the shots. They have Chuck Schumer, who clearly wanted this thing over. He's been around the Senate long enough to know they had no game, but he was smart enough not to put his name on it. However, he knew he'd get blamed since he is technically the leader of the Dems in the Senate. And sure enough, that's what's happening. Maybe he's not going to run again. Maybe he's at the point now where he's just going to toss this thing over to AOC and let her try her hand at it. But he's in a weaker position than I've ever seen him since he became the minority leader.
Yeah, and on the precipice potentially of having his career end on whatever the opposite of a high note is, because I don't know how he digs out of this because he's so out of step with where the energy in the party is, and the Democrats seem to think about him now the way Republicans think about Mitch McConnell. That he's just, he's just so yesterday.
Unlikable. Like Senator Schumer is the most artificial, tough to connect with person on earth. You know, I mean, what's he even doing? Did he refuse to vote yes on this crossover and then call his imaginary family friends, the Baileys, to tell them about his latest courageous act, right? That came out that he had a group of imaginary friends he was using for every single political war story for the past 3 decades, and they don't exist. That's how artificial he is, and you can tell. Remember when they forced Kamala Harris through and they didn't have the primary, and he was the first one to come out and say, ground up. It was from the ground up, which we knew was a lie. Everything he says is false. So what's his constituency? There's not like some huge contingent of Chuck Schumer fangirls who are like, no, hell no, Chuck can't go. So I don't see him having a long runway left.